Another week in the NFL is upon us, and once again, we have a chance to win over $1 million. Hey there everybody, it's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this video. This is the free contest that we play. We played it now the first 2 weeks of the NFL. We're back for a third week. You guys know the games by now. It's win $1 million over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, win $15,000 on the Play Barstools app, and win $5,000 over on the Yahoo Slate app. Let's jump on into it and see how we'll do this week. Let's go ahead and first start with that Fox Bet Super 6 app. That's the $1 million big old prize. They give you 6 games. You got to correctly predict all 6 games. Not only do you got to give them a winner, though, you also have to give them the win margin. Do that, you take home that $1 million prize. Last week, we got 14 of the 30 points. I gave you guys 4 of the 6 winners, and I gave you guys 1 of the correct win margins right. I gave you guys the win margin right in that Bears. So getting 4 of the 6 winners right in a tough league, not too bad, but we got to do better. Come on, guys, we got to do better. We got to give you guys some winners. Let's go ahead and jump on into it and see what we can do for this week on this game. All right, the first game here is Washington football team versus the Buffalo Bills. And I always feel like I got to give you guys like all the information for this game. Otherwise, you guys will just call me a homer. Everybody knows I'm a Bills fan, so let's see if I can convince you guys that the Bills are not only going to win, but they'll win by a good little bit margin. Let's see, Washington, they allow 126 yards per game on the ground. They ranked 23rd in doing so. We saw what they did last Thursday night to Daniel Jones. I mean, he was getting out on the edge and getting up big chunks of yards. So that's going to prevent yourself a problem because the Bills, not only they've run it better from the running back position, Saquon looks absolutely terrible. I mean, they didn't really do much to punish this Washington team. Well, okay, well now you're going to get a real running back, one that's not coming off torn ACLs, one that's in form, and Devin Singletary. But not outside that running back room, also from a quarterback. I mean, you saw what Daniel Jones did again on Thursday night. You get a bigger, stronger, more athletic, a quarterback that really likes to run the ball, that'll put his head down and go for it. Yeah, give me Allen over Jones, obviously running the ball all day long. So you already got a Washington team that ranks 23rd in defending the run. I think they're going to have their hands full defending this run game. The Bills, they look really good on defense so far. They allow on a per yard basis, per completion basis, they only allow 7.5 yards. That's number 1 in the NFL. That's really good right there. In terms of yards per game allowed, they rank number 2, so good defensive right there. They also have a good rush defense. They rank 7th in their rush defense. They're only allowing 73 yards per game, so I like that right there. The Bills' defense is strong. I think their offense is going to overpower Washington. We know Washington has a good defensive line. We've talked about it on my daily show, but the Bills have the ability to go ahead and beat that, and it'll all come down to Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll, you look at him, really since last season when this Bills team became, an AFC threat. He really schemes it up each and every single week. He'll mix up the play calling, mix up the schemes that they'll run. So while strong defensive line, he'll just mix in those quick short passes. Stephon Diggs, great separation there at the line of scrimmage. So yeah, Bills will handle handle Washington. I think they'll do it relatively easy. Go ahead and give me a Bills win by 10 to 14 points. Let's go Bills. Any Bills Mafia out there? Who's watching this video? Who's part of Bills Mafia with me? Go ahead and let me know if you're part of Bills Mafia. The next one we got here is we got Bears versus Browns. This one feels like it's going to be low scoring. Is that what kind of you guys think too? Kind of low scoring. Got 2 good defenses. Bears are a good defense. Browns are a good defense. Bears are number 5 against the run. They're a really good one. And that means, and we know how the Browns run it really good between Chubb and Hunt. But the Bears are number 5 in their rush defense, so they may be able to take away one of the strengths that the Browns do well on offense. And while the Bears maybe are a little bit suspect on the pass defense, if you can kind of get that Browns offense into one-dimensional, now that gives you a better opportunity to go ahead and defend that pass right there. We know Justin Fields, he's going to be making his first start. We kind of know what we're going to get with him. We've seen him play, obviously, the first 2 games. They've sprinkled him in. But we'll see how the Browns deal with the dual-threat quarterback. This guy's going to be a runner himself. They have one in Baker Mayfield, so they see it in practice, but not one like this. I mean, this guy's a true dual-threat quarterback, so look to see how the Browns will go ahead and handle that. I do believe the Browns are a better team, though. I think from an offensive standpoint, defensive standpoint, this Browns team is better. There's a reason why some people think the Browns will, be a threat in the AFC. They're sure, playoff team, I think, in most people's minds. So picking the Browns to win this game isn't all that much of a stretch. It now comes down to that win margin. I think it will be close. I think Justin Fields, I think they'll scheme something up. He'll maybe catch this Browns defense off guard. And then you got a good Bears defense again in their own right. I like that Bears defense. So go ahead and give me a Browns win. I think the Browns will win the game by 5 to 6 points. All right, let's move it over now to Falcons and Giants. Who's looking forward to this one? The battle of the 0-2 teams. Somebody coming out here is going to pick up their first win. Stats-wise, it's pretty neck and neck. I mean, I looked it up. From offensive, defense, you got pretty neck and neck. I kind of looked at the turnover win margins where I think maybe the separation will come in this game and maybe who's going to win or lose this one. The Giants turnover margin is plus 0.5. The Falcons is -1. So I think if you get that, if that trend carries over into this game, because the stats are generally otherwise the same, but if the Giants can go ahead and win the turnover margin at home, I think the Giants can win this game, and I do think the Giants will win this game. So go ahead and give me a Giants victory by 3 to 4 points. All right, next one brings us here to the Saints and the Patriots. Saints they're a difficult team to figure out by Jameis Winston. I mean, if he comes out and plays good, they'll win this game. If he comes out and plays, bad Jameis, they'll go ahead and lose this game. It's kind of hard to kind of read what happened to them last week because of their whole COVID situation. They had so many coaches down and how that was able to impact them. That's really tough. So if anybody, though, can get into Jameis Winston's head and cause him to have a bad game, I would bet on Bill Belichick. I mean, Bill Belichick, he's a scheme masterminder, especially obviously on that defensive side, where that's where his pedigree is. So if anybody can cause Jameis Winston to have a bad game, I do believe it'll be Jameis Winston or Bill Belichick. And then Belichick will know how to put Mac Jones in a good situation, right? They were in that game against Miami on week 1. Dominated the Jets in week 2, but more from a defensive perspective. Obviously, they dominated the Jets and Zach Wilson. But I also like what he does from an offensive standpoint in terms of putting his guys in successful places to go ahead and be the best that they can be. So I like that right there. The Saints do have the number 3 rush defense, so Mac Jones is going to need a good game, because they're not going to get a whole lot of help, I don't think, from the running game. This Saints defense has now been good 2 seasons in a row on defending that run. So Mac Jones will need to have a good game if the Patriots win this game. I'm going to trust Bill Belichick. The Patriots look good, of course. Who doesn't look good coming off a performance against the Jets? But I think Patriots will go ahead and do it at home here. I think Bill Belichick will do something. He'll disguise his coverage. There'll be enough to throw Jameis off. He'll have not a bad game, but it just won't be a good game. Go ahead and give me a Patriots win. The Patriots will win this game by 5 to 6 points. All right, let's go ahead and now move it to the Cardinals versus the Jaguars. This one, I mean, nobody's taking the Jaguars, right? We can all agree on that. Nobody's going to pick the Jaguars to go ahead and beat the Cardinals. So it's just about finding the right win margin of how bad are the Cardinals going to beat the Jaguars. The spread is -7.5. I actually think that feels too low. I think the Cardinals can beat them up by more than that. I think they'll get up in the double digits. So I don't like that spread of -7.5. I think they'll really handle him. I don't see the Jaguars slowing Kyler Murray at all, whether it's his arms or his legs. I don't see how you're going to stop Murray. I mean, the guy is really, really good. So they're going to have problems having answers for him. Jaguars, they have the worst turnover margin in all of the NFL at -2.5 per game. Not all that surprising. They're starting a rookie quarterback. They're starting a new rookie head coach in terms of the NFL, and Urban Meyer. New schemes, new everything. Just a lot of new going on there in Jacksonville. So not too surprising that they're the worst in the league there in the turnover margin. Cardinals defense is number 8 versus the pass. They're number 26 versus the run. So if the Jaguars want to do anything to stay in this game, they've got to run the ball. Got to run the ball with Robinson, take some pressure off Trevor Lawrence, and just try and expose that number 26 ranked rush defense. The problem is, though, in relying on that run game, which we think maybe they need to do, if they get behind, they're going to have to bail on that run game because you're going to have to keep up with the Cardinals in this high-powered offense. So you're going to have to score points. So maybe you can't run the ball maybe as you would maybe want to, because the score will kind of get out of wonky. So, yeah, I like the Cardinals in this matchup. I like the Cardinals big in this matchup. Go ahead and give me a Cardinals winning this game by 15 to 20 points. All right, next one we got here is Buccaneers versus Rams. Game of the week, right? No, this is going to be the game of the week. Hell, this could be the NFC Championship preview. That's how good the Buccaneers and Rams will be this season. Amongst, I think everybody believes that they'll be really good. Get your popcorn ready, folks. Get your popcorn, folks. This one's going to be a good one. I think it could go either way. That's what makes this one tough. That's why this game is in this contest. You could see the Rams picking. You could see the Buccaneers picking. That's why this game is in this contest. It's hard to win this money. It's hard. It's $1 million. This one's tough. The Bucs are favored by minus 1.5. The Bucs D, it's the same story as last year. Excellent versus the run. I mean, just an excellent defense versus the run. And towards the bottom of the league there in pass defense, they ranked 30th. There's only 32 teams in the league. Now, you could say part of that is because their offense is so good and they score a lot, so teams are trying to come from behind. But no. You look at the tape. This run defense is just really, really good. But the Rams have the quarterback now in Stafford to keep up with Brady. They have that. If this 30th ranked defense from a pass perspective comes into this game, Stafford can expose that. He's a good quarterback. He can definitely take advantage of that. And I like the Rams on defense. I like the Rams on defense. I think with Rams being at home, I think the Rams can do it. So go ahead and give me a Rams victory. And I like the Rams in this one by 3 to 4 points. All right, guys, that's how I'm going to do it on the Fox Bet Super 6 app for a chance to win $1 million. Let's now move it over to the Play Barstools app. This is where you can win $15,000 every week that there's not a winner. They're upping the prize amount by $5,000. So that's why we now sit on that $15,000 prize. Last week, I went 5-9, same score as week 1. Didn't improve, didn't get worse, so I go ahead and take that. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. You guys know how to do. They give you all these games. You got to pick the games against the spread, and then you got to go ahead and predict the score for that Monday night game. First one here is Colts versus Titans. Titans minus 5.5. It looks like no Carson Wentz. I'm going to go ahead and take that Titans to go ahead and cover that spread. Then we got the Chargers and Chiefs. You got Chiefs minus 6.5. Look, the Chargers can keep up with the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are terrible at covering the spread. If you guys are on Twitter, you guys see the tweets that come out after games. The Chiefs have a terrible record of covering the spread, so they might win the game, but they're not going to cover the spread. Go ahead and give me that Chargers and give me those 6.5 points. Saints versus Patriots. I like to go ahead and take the Patriots to go ahead and cover that spread. Falcons, Giants. While I do have the Giants to winning on the Fox Bet Super 6 app and kind of a toss-up, I'll go ahead and take the Falcons in those 3.5 points. Bucks versus Rams. They got the Rams favored at minus 1.5. That's completely different than what the sports books have. That's because this game comes out early, but now we've seen through all the betting that the public likes the Buccaneers. It's the Bucks that are favored by minus 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams, though. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams to cover that minus 1.5. Dolphins versus Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders to cover that minus 5.5 right there. Like the Raiders, what they're doing. They're at home. I think they're going to go ahead and keep it going up against a Jacoby Brissett-led Dolphins team. So Raiders minus 5.5 for me. Next one we got here is Seahawks versus Vikings. I think the Vikings could do it. I think maybe the Vikings can go ahead and get that first win. The Seahawks are very bad this season at defending the run. You got Dalvin Cook going at it. He could have himself a monster game. Kirk Cousins has himself a good game. Go ahead and give me the Vikings at 1.5 points. Packers, 49ers. Packers plus 2.5. I'll gladly go ahead and take the points. With Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they're a good team. They, went up against the Lions. Who's not going to look good against the Lions? But, yeah, if you're going to be the Packers in plus points, it's got to be up against a better team than the 49ers for me not to take those points. So I'll go ahead and take those Packers in 2.5 points. And then for Monday night, again, you got to correctly predict the score. It's Eagles versus Cowboys. I got the Cowboys winning, but they're not going to cover that spread. Go ahead and give me a Cowboys 27. Eagles 24 will be my score there. Okay, and then the last game we've been playing each and every single week is on the Yahoo Fantasy Slate, where we can win $5,000. Just a mix of questions. They even threw in some Ryder Cup stuff this week. So let's just go ahead and answer these 9 questions and see how we'll do. Bucks versus Rams, give them a winner. I'll go ahead and take the Rams. Will Gronkowski have a TD? I think he'll have 1. I'm not going to go ahead and predict him to have 2 or more, but I will say he'll have 1 touchdown. Chargers, Chiefs, over 55.5. Take the over, folks. That one's going to be nice, entertaining, high scoring. That's going to be a fun game. I like over 55.5 points. Will the Chargers have a TD called back via penalty? Interesting question. I'll go ahead and say no. I know why I give it, but just an interesting question. But I will go ahead and say no. Packers, 49ers, give them a winner. I'll go ahead and say the Packers will win that game. Who's going to have the leading rushing attempts by the 49ers? You guys can answer this one on your own. I'm going to wait for more practice data. We know that the 49ers have just been killed, decimated at the running back position due to injuries. I'm going to wait and see. I doubt we get any information from Shanahan, but you can probably follow beat reporters there for the 49ers who watch a portion of practice and maybe get some insight into them of maybe who's going to be taking the majority of the carry. So I'm going to go ahead and wait that one off. We'll go ahead and tweet my answer to that one at some point on Sunday. But as of now, I don't want to give you guys a wrong answer. I'm trying to help you guys out and give you guys the right answers. I just need more information. We'll see what the practice reports tell us there. Cowboys, Eagles, give them a winner. I'm on the Cowboys. Then we get 2 Ryder Cup questions. Who's going to win the Ryder Cup? I went USA just because I went off the odds of what the sports books have. They're about a -190, so they're pretty heavy favored. So I'll take USA. And then will Bryson win his singles match? Sure. I'll go ahead and say he wins the singles match. I don't know much about golf. That's a coin flip for me. I do know Bryson's powerful off the drive, but he ain't very accurate. If he can just keep it accurate, he'll probably go ahead and win. So I'll say he will go ahead and win. All right, guys, that's how we're doing it. $1 million on Fox Bet Super 6 app, $15,000 on Play Barstools app, and then you've got another $5,000 on the Yahoo Fantasy Slate app. Hey, guys, I just want to be of help to you. Go ahead and hit this like button. If I've been of help to you, hit this like button. Let me know I've been of help to you. Otherwise, guys, good luck. Hope you guys can win that money. If not, come on back here next week. We'll give it another try. Have a good one. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.